Welcome to our channel. Today, we're exploring the heartbreaking story of Karen Buckley, a kind, compassionate student whose life was tragically cut short. This case shook Glasgow to its core and left behind a trail of pain and unanswered questions. Join us as we uncover the chilling details of Karen's murder, the investigation, and the shocking truth that came to light. Born in Cork, Ireland, Karen Buckley was a driven and kind-hearted young woman. After graduating from nursing school, she moved to Glasgow in January 2015 to pursue her master's degree in occupational therapy. Her friends and family described her as ambitious and someone who always looked out for others. Karen was one of those people that lit up a room whenever she walked in, one of her friends recalled. She had so much to give. Karen had built a promising future for herself. But on the night of April 11th, 2015, her life took a devastating turn. Karen went out with friends to the Sanctuary nightclub in Glasgow's West End. After a fun evening of dancing, she left her group, telling them she was heading to the restroom. But Karen never returned. Initially, her friends assumed she had left to go home, but the next day, when she didn't show up, concern quickly grew. Karen was officially reported missing, and a city-wide search began. "We knew something was wrong the moment we couldn't reach her," said one friend. Karen wouldn't just disappear like that. Pause 5S. As the police delved deeper into the case, they began to piece together a timeline of Karen's last known movements. Each piece of evidence, no matter how small, was scrutinized meticulously. The detectives worked tirelessly, sifting through hours of footage, interviewing witnesses, and cross-referencing alibis. The pressure was immense, but the team was determined to uncover the truth. CCTV footage showed her walking through the dimly lit streets of Glasgow, her silhouette framed by the glow of streetlights reflecting off the wet pavement. The rain had just stopped, leaving the streets glistening and the air thick with a sense of foreboding. Karen appeared to be in a hurry, glancing over her shoulder occasionally, as if she sensed someone was following her. The footage then captured a chilling sight. Karen getting into a silver car with Alexander Pacto. The car's windows were tinted, making it difficult to see inside, but the license plate was clearly visible. This was a crucial lead for the investigators. They now had a suspect and a vehicle to focus their efforts on. Pause 3S. The next step for investigators was to search the vehicle. They obtained a warrant and meticulously planned the search, knowing that any mistake could jeopardize the case. Inside, they found traces of blood and signs of a struggle. The back seat was particularly telling, with bloodstains and torn fabric indicating a violent confrontation. The discovery was both horrifying and crucial, providing tangible evidence that something terrible had happened to Karen. Forensic experts meticulously collected samples, hoping they would lead to concrete evidence. They worked with precision, using advanced tools and techniques to ensure that no detail was overlooked. Every fibre, every drop of blood was carefully catalogued and analysed. The lab buzzed with activity as the team raced against time to piece together the puzzle. The streets of Glasgow, usually bustling with life, now seemed to hold their breath as the gravity of the situation sank in. The city, known for its vibrant nightlife and friendly atmosphere, was now shrouded in a sense of dread. People whispered about the case in hushed tones, and a palpable tension hung in the air. The streets of Glasgow, bathed in the eerie glow of streetlights, now held the secrets to a tragic story waiting to be uncovered. The city itself seemed to mourn, its usual energy replaced by a somber stillness. As the investigation continued, the hope was that these streets would eventually reveal the truth, bringing justice for Karen and closure for her loved ones. The detectives knew that every corner, every shadow could hold a clue, and they were determined to leave no stone unturned in their quest for answers. The police wasted no time in their investigation. They combed the streets of Glasgow, gathering statements from witnesses and analysing CCTV footage. The critical breakthrough came when Karen was seen leaving the nightclub with a man later identified as 21-year-old Alexander Pacteau. Police interviewed him, but his story raised immediate red flags. His version of events just didn't add up, said a lead detective. He claimed they parted ways, but the evidence was pointing elsewhere. As more details emerged, the investigation took a sinister turn, revealing a far darker story than anyone could have imagined. Alexander Pacteau wasn't a stranger to violence. Just a year before Karen's murder, he had been involved in a separate case where he attempted to strangle a woman in a hotel room. Though those charges were later dropped, his violent tendencies were clear. When police searched Pacteau's apartment, they discovered Karen's purse and her belongings nearby. Enough evidence to bring him in for further questioning. It wasn't long before investigators would make a grim discovery that would confirm their worst fears. Police intensified their search, turning their focus to Pacteau's car and apartment. Forensic teams found bloodstains in both locations, which were later confirmed to be Karen's. Most disturbingly, Pacteau had rented a storage facility where Karen's remains were found inside a barrel filled with caustic soda, a gruesome attempt to dispose of her body. The discovery of Karen's body in such a horrific state shocked the entire community, reported one Glasgow news outlet. The sheer brutality of the crime left everyone reeling. Before we continue with the chilling conclusion, a quick word from our sponsor, Firebrand Cloud. If you're looking to start or rebrand your business, Firebrand Cloud has the solutions you need to create a powerful online presence. Watch to the end and get a 15% discount on their business plan. Stay tuned for the code. Despite his initial denials, Alexander Pacteau eventually confessed to the killing of Karen Buckley. He claimed it was an act of self-defense during a struggle that took place in his car. According to Pacteau, Karen had attacked him, and he had no choice but to defend himself. However, his story was met with skepticism from the very beginning. The details he provided were inconsistent, and his demeanor during questioning raised many red flags for the investigators. However, the forensic evidence told a different story, one that painted a far more premeditated and sinister picture. Experts in forensic science indicated that Pacteau's actions were not those of a man acting in self-defense, but rather of someone who had meticulously planned a heinous crime. The evidence collected from the crime scene, including the blood spatter patterns and the positioning of Karen's body, suggested a calculated and deliberate act of violence. The attempt to dissolve Karen's body in caustic chemicals was particularly damning. This act showed a clear and chilling intent to hide the crime and erase any trace of Karen's existence. The chemicals used were not something one would typically have on hand, indicating that Pacteau had gone to great lengths to procure them in advance. This level of premeditation was a critical piece of evidence that the prosecution used to build their case. During the trial, the prosecutor highlighted the level of planning and the brutality involved in disposing of Karen's body. They argued that these actions spoke to the callousness and cold-blooded nature of the crime. The courtroom was filled with tension as the prosecutor laid out the evidence piece by piece, painting a vivid and horrifying picture of the events that led to Karen's death. The judge and jury listened intently, their expressions growing more somber with each revelation. In September 2015, after a lengthy and emotionally charged trial, Alexander Pacteau was sentenced to life in prison. The judge ruled that he would have to serve a minimum of 23 years before he could be eligible for parole. The sentence was met with a mix of relief and sorrow from Karen's family and friends. While they were grateful that justice had been served, they knew that no amount of prison time could ever bring Karen back. The sentence brought some measure of closure to Karen's loved ones, but it couldn't undo the pain and loss they felt. In the days and weeks following the trial, the community came together to honor Karen's memory. Vigils were held and memorials were set up, with candles and photographs serving as a poignant reminder of the vibrant life that had been so tragically cut short. The press conferences with Karen's family were heart-wrenching as they spoke of their grief and the enduring impact of her loss on their lives. The loss of Karen Buckley devastated her family, who had travelled from Cork to Glasgow during the investigation. The journey was filled with anxiety and heartbreak as they clung to hope while fearing the worst. The airport scenes were a poignant reminder of the emotional toll such tragedies take on families, with each member grappling with their own grief and trying to support one another. In a heartbreaking statement, her parents described Karen as a shining light in their lives and shared how difficult it was to come to terms with her death. They spoke of her vibrant personality, her dreams, and the future that was cruelly taken away. The press conference was a raw and emotional moment as they expressed their sorrow and the profound impact Karen's loss had on their lives. We will never understand why this happened to Karen. The community's response was overwhelming, with many people coming together to honour her memory. Memorial sites were adorned with flowers, candles and heartfelt messages, reflecting the collective grief and solidarity of those who knew her and even those who didn't. She was a wonderful daughter who brought so much joy to those around her, her father said at a press conference after the sentencing. His words were a testament to Karen's character and the love she spread in her short life. The family's strength in the face of such a devastating loss was both heartbreaking and inspiring, as they sought justice and tried to find a way to move forward. The Glasgow community was equally shaken by the senseless violence, with many holding vigils in her memory and calling for greater safety measures. These gatherings were not just about mourning Karen's loss, but also about standing together against violence and advocating for a safer environment. The community's unity and determination to make a positive change were a powerful tribute to Karen's legacy, showing that even in the darkest times, there is hope and strength in coming together. Karen Buckley's murder is a tragic reminder of how fragile life can be and how one individual's violent actions can devastate so many lives. Though justice was served, the pain of her loss continues to be felt by her family and friends. Today, we honor Karen's memory and the bright future she should have had. If you found this story compelling, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. By engaging, you help us tell these important stories and keep memories alive. Stay safe, and we'll see you in our next video. Pause 3S. While the investigation and trial brought some measure of closure, the true legacy of Karen Buckley lies in the impact she left on those who knew her. Karen was more than just a victim. She was a beloved daughter, a cherished friend, and a dedicated student with dreams and aspirations. Pause 2S. Friends describe Karen as a vibrant and compassionate young woman who always put others before herself. Her laughter was infectious and her kindness knew no bounds. In her memory, her family has established the Karen Buckley Foundation, aimed at supporting young women in achieving their educational and personal goals, a testament to the life Karen would have continued to lead. Pause 2S. Every year, a vigil is held in her honor, where friends, family, and even strangers come together to remember Karen and to stand against violence. These moments of unity and remembrance serve as a powerful reminder that while Karen may no longer be with us, her spirit endures, inspiring acts of kindness and courage in her name. Pause 2S. As we conclude this video, let us remember Karen not just for the tragedy that ended her life, but for the love, joy, and hope she brought into the world. Pause 2S. Thank you for watching and for helping to keep Karen's memory alive. Pause 3S. The impact of Karen Buckley's life and tragic death has rippled far beyond her immediate circle of friends and family. Her story has touched the hearts of people across the globe, leading to significant changes in community awareness and safety measures. Pause 2S. In the wake of her passing, universities and local authorities have taken steps to improve the safety of students, particularly young women, on and off campus. Enhanced lighting, increased security patrols, and self-defense workshops are just a few measures that have been implemented to honor Karen's memory and ensure such a tragedy is never repeated. Pause 2S. Moreover, Karen's story has sparked important conversations about violence against women, prompting legislative changes and fostering a collective commitment to creating safer environments for everyone. The Karen Buckley Foundation has also played a pivotal role in this transformation, funding initiatives that educate and empower young women, providing them with the resources and support they need to thrive. Pause 2S. While the loss of Karen Buckley is a wound that will never fully heal, the changes inspired by her life and legacy serve as a beacon of hope and progress. In remembering Karen, we also honor the countless individuals who have been moved to action, ensuring that her spirit continues to guide us towards a more compassionate and safe world. Pause 2S. Thank you for being a part of this journey and for helping to keep Karen's light shining brightly. Pause 3S. The journey through Karen Buckley's story has been one of profound sorrow, but also of immense strength and unity. Pause 2S. In a powerful testament to her enduring impact, every year on the anniversary of her passing, friends, family, and community members gather for a memorial walk in her honor. Pause 2S. This walk, which starts at the university she once attended and winds through the city streets, serves as both a tribute and a call to action. Pause 2S. Participants carry candles, flowers, and photos, creating a moving sea of light and remembrance that illuminates the path forward. Pause 2S. The memorial walk is more than just a remembrance, it's a symbol of resilience and solidarity. Pause 2S. It brings together people from all walks of life, united by a common desire to honor Karen and to stand against the violence that took her from this world. Pause 2S. Speakers share stories of Karen's kindness, her dreams, and the ways she touched their lives, painting a picture of a young woman whose light will never be extinguished. Pause 2S. In these moments of collective grief and reflection, the community finds strength in each other. Pause 2S. The walk culminates in a peaceful gathering where attendees release lanterns into the night sky, each one representing a hope, a memory, or a prayer for a future free from fear and violence. Pause 2S. Through these acts of remembrance, Karen's legacy continues to inspire and uplift. Pause 2S. Her story is a reminder of the incredible power of love and resilience in the face of unimaginable loss. Pause 2S. As we hold Karen in our hearts, we also hold on to the promise of a world that honors her memory by striving for greater compassion, safety, and justice for all. Pause 2S. Thank you for joining us in this tribute and for carrying forward the light that Karen brought into this world.